No matter what service or product I was selling in any business, there is one thing I would focus on to make sales, and episode 216 just covers it all. Hello, it's Emma Mills here, and welcome to episode 216 of MiTV, which I'm going to talk about the one thing that we focus on growing and building every week at MiPA, and it helps us to make the most sales, and that is, guesses, our email list. Our email list at MiPA is what I call the backbone of the business, because ultimately it enables me and MiPA to create a really good relationship with lots of people, so one to many. And as we know, people buy from people. And for us, it is the most cost-effective way to create this relationship with lots of people. Now, don't get me wrong, we are quite prolific and are in a great rhythm with our social medias. We have other marketing strategies where we reach out to cold audiences with data scrapes, with email campaigns, sending stuff out in the post, me attending events. We've invested money in paid ads, which has worked well for us in the past. But there is one thing that's like our foundation to everything and has most of our attention and focus, and that is on building our email list. And that is because attention is so difficult to get nowadays. I watched an Alex Hormozy video, which if you don't know him, you need to check him out, the other day, and he was talking about how attention is the new oil because it's just so difficult to get from people. I walked home in Manchester last night, not to show my age, and I'm like, oh, look at everybody, but they were literally, everybody was just like this walking home. It's just so, there is just so many things in this and on your laptop to get your attention. That attention of people's time is just so finite and so hard to get. So for us, our really rhythmic combination of MiTV, and whether it's video or whether it's an email or whether it's just written or whether it's just a quote or whether it's just a tip, the medium doesn't really matter, but our rhythm of emailing our list once or twice a week, every week, is the core to us making sales in the business, because people, you can create a relationship with people online that you don't speak to. I mean, Alex Hormozy, who I've just mentioned, about 4 months ago, I didn't even know he was. And my marketing assistant, Noah, gave me this book as a gift for when he came into a new role in the business, which was very super lovely. I was like, Alex Hormozy, read this book. Wow, this is amazing. Listened to his podcast, watched his videos. Now a big fan of his wife, Layla Hormozy. I am consuming as much as possible about the pair of them. Brendan Bouchard, I've talked about him. I listen to him every day. I've never spoken to him, but I feel like I have a relationship with him. I read his emails every day. Alex Hormozy emailed me from his list for the first time because he's releasing a new book last week. And I am fully ready to buy this book. Not that I know him, but he's created a relationship with me through content. And so our email list is just one of the biggest key parts for me to be able to help lots of people for free. I hope my MiTVs are helpful. I get lots of emails about them, so I know for some people it touches the right button. I remember them back in the day, and this is maybe 2016, 2017, there were 1,000 people on our email list. We used Infusionsoft at the time, Confusionsoft, very complicated, wasn't for me. We had about 1,000 people on the list then. We use ActiveCampaign now. And I just looked, and we have 27,000 people that receive MiTV. Now, this is a combination of people subscribing to our list, meeting people, enticing people onto our list with freebies. And today's episode, I just want to talk about why the list is so important and some ways to help with that. If you didn't know, MailChimp has done a very big survey on this, and they estimated that around the open rate for, as an average across business industries, is 20%. I just checked last week's MiTV, it was at 19%. Looks like MailChimp is spot on with this average. So our open rate is around 19%. Now, if you're a long-time viewer of MiTV, I've said this 22 million times, maths is not my forte, but a 19% open rate of 27,000 contacts is, cut away so I can do the calculation, my favorite website in the world, percentagecalculator.net, tells me that it is 5,130 people in my list opened my email last week. 5,130 people is a lot of people in my sphere, at my size of business, to be able to see that they have opened the email and whether they've read all of it. You know, there's also just a lot of credibility and stickiness in a relationship of just seeing your name pop up in an email, and multiply that with social media, with LinkedIn, with everything else, wherever they might see you. But just the fact that they have opened it, I am creating relationships on a really big one-to-many scale. So it's really important for us. And the key thing is that you have an element of control over this. You know, when you put a post on social media, it might get scrolled past, it might get looked at, it might, you know, if you spend money on Facebook ads or Google AdWords, which we have done last year and had success from it. But for us, we had greater control over our email campaigns. It was a much more cost-effective rate for us. And we could see exactly what was working well, what people were clicking on, what videos they were watching. And I know for people who love Facebook ads and Google ads, there is loads and loads of data and control you can do there too. But the cost effectiveness of sending, apart from the cost of our CRM, free emails with my ideas and value and content and things I want to help you with has been by far absolutely number one for us at MiPA. So number one, at the most basic level, if I am talking to you and you do not have a CRM, which you might be going, yeah, okay, I definitely got a CRM, thanks. However, I speak to lots of business owners who don't have them, who have their contacts everywhere in and just in an inbox. Maybe they've got so far as getting them on a spreadsheet. But number one, the customers in your life, the prospects that you have spoken to, even if they are prospects at a BNI meeting, at a networking meeting, if you don't have them all in the one place, I urge you to work on that as a task for this year, to get that done, to get them into, say, a spreadsheet just to start, because then they can be easily imported into a free CRM or a cheap one. Definitely number one, this is like beginners. If you haven't got this bit together, please, because it's just so valuable to you as a business to have an email list. That is number one. Number two has got two parts to it. So 2A, on your website, you must have a contact form, something where somebody can put in their email and name as a minimum. Phone number, brilliant. But name and email to express interest or to be contacted about what it is you do. Like, that's just an absolute non-negotiable. It needs to be on your website, that somebody can come across it, however that is, by accident, by SEO, by recommendation, and there is a way for them to submit their name and email for you. Number 2B. 2B is having something for free on your website. So on MiPA's website, for example, we have some different levels of things you can download, which like piques the interest of different kinds of people on our website. So at a really simple level, we have an info pack for our PA support, an info pack for our call answering service. And you can download them, which gives you more information. You don't necessarily have to speak to me or Helena or one of the team if you're not at that level. So you've got an opportunity there to download more information, put your name and email in, and you've downloaded it. And we have this name and email. So we know that, okay, Ralph Blogs has like expressed an interest. He might not be ready right now, but we know he's there. And regardless of whether he's ready to buy right now, he is going to start receiving lovely, valuable content emails explaining more about who I am, who Ralph is, what we do, who we help, my ideas, my thoughts, my value. Like, he's going to start receiving that. So our info packs you can download, and then the more you can get creative with freebies, let's call them. And this is not like don't get put off by salesy freebie things. I'm just talking about one-page documents, PDFs that give value to your customer. So on our website, you can download a PDF of our productivity pack. You can download a PDF which tells you about the 104 most commonly outsourced tasks that we help our clients with. And, you know, I've got a big list this year that I want to create of things that are really valuable to our customers that they can just download for free, that's helpful in their day-to-day. And you know, somebody might not even be considering PA support in this example, but having a freebie which says the 5 ways to delegate a task to a team member, and just having that as a PDF to download can capture someone at a really early stage. So I just wanted to get across on this part of the episode is that having something for free that you've created, which, do you know, and most people get stuck here with, okay, well, I've got ideas, but who's going to do it? Upwork, you can easily get somebody to take your text, design it up, make it into a PDF, and put it up on your website for people to download. The more things you have on there for people to grab, download, and give their email address, the better. Because then you have this connection with them, and nobody can, you know, Apple's new security measures won't stop you from emailing them. Facebook's new algorithm change won't stop you from them seeing it, because it's not in there. You know, you have control over sending this to them in their inbox. So I would put on your list of things to do this year, what can I create that is of value to my potential client? So let's just have some ideas. You know, if you're a plumber, you might have a one-pager to talk about how you can minimize your heating bills throughout the year, or how you can extend the life of your boiler maybe, or, you know, something that's just really valuable. And there will just be some 5 bullet points that, however simple it may seem to you, is knowledge that somebody else won't know. You know, if you own a car garage, maybe it's the 7, people love odd numbers, so like maybe it's the 7 ways to make sure your car is like has less maintenance problems throughout the year, of things that they should check or do, or things that lengthen the life of the car. Or, you know, there'll be stuff that as a consumer I do not know that you think is everyday knowledge. So coming up with something that you can just create into a great nice PDF that's downloadable on your website and allows someone to add to your list is a super high priority, I think, for anyone this year who doesn't have it. Because the more you can grow your list, the more relationships you build, the more you can sell. So for me, having an engaged email list, and the key point here is that, you know, 20% of my email list last week were engaged. The week before, it might be a different 20% of the list. Like, not everybody's going to open and read every single email. We've got loads of examples, even in the past month, of clients who have been on our email list for 2 years. One particular lady has been opening and reading our emails, and she became a client just after Christmas time. I know that having an email list is one of our key assets we've got to make sure that we have customers, engaged people, people learning from us and becoming prospects further down the line, coming into the business. And actually selling through the list is not something that I do a great deal of. We probably do an actual sales campaign where I've got something specifically to sell 2 or 3 times a year, because what's most important for me is that I have an engaged list who feel that the relationship is totally one-sided and that they just get loads of value from me. And that has been our mantra for the past nearly 6 years now, since MiTV started. But I know that if we have a new product to launch tomorrow, which we do very shortly actually have a product to launch, that I know that by sending out emails to our list, sales are going to be made, because they'll understand leverage, delegation, how we can help, and there'll be people in that list that are reading our stuff and are ready to buy. And I want the same thing for you. So absolute big focus this year, I think, for any business owner, especially as, you know, you don't want to be at the whim of changes in other platforms. But when you get somebody's email address, you are totally in control. So big focus this year, grow an email list, create an email list if you don't already have one, and give yourself a couple of hours to pull together something really, really valuable that most people just won't know. Create it into a nice PDF, get it as a download. 3 things for this year. I hope this week's longer but important episode of MiTV gets your head out of the dirt and into the email clouds, and I will see you next week. See you then. Bye bye.